Hey, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Jim.
And this is Danny,
Yes, it is.
the turkey.
You're the turkey?
Yep.
Oh, this is a bad day for you.
You're the stuff.
I'm the stuffing?
Yeah.
That's a bad day for both of us.
Yeah.
So we are recording this on Thanksgiving Day because, well, we just had to have a couple things delay recording, and we had Thanksgiving early with the family, so we are doing a whole lot of nothing except recording.
Yeah.
And chilling afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, no, putting up window plastic at some point too.
Ooh,
Yeah,
maybe
all
a
the
Christmas
exciting
tree.
stuff. So this was going to be our episode to release the week of Thanksgiving. Clearly, as you're listening to it, you know that's not the case. Because we had that wonderful interview with Mr. Kyle Hester.
Yeah.
And holiday episode just has to take a boot.
Yeah. So you'll be listening to this post Thanksgiving, obviously.
Yeah. But, you know, it's all still in that realm.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing this year. We're gonna do a retrospective. We're gonna
I don't know.
because you know the bi-weekly thing kind of limits our what can we fit in the time frame.
Yeah.
You know, because I know you want to do Christmas horror.
I have an idea for our year-end thing, but let's discuss it after the recording.
Okay, so you guys don't know. You won't know
It's a secret.
until you know.
That's right.
Yeah, in weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing. This will be hopefully released on time.
Yeah.
Because in 4 days I'm going under the knife, and well, hopefully tried it last time and they had some issues, so hopefully we won't have issues.
Hopefully it's a successful surgery this time.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll be out of the hospital on time.
Yeah.
However, as things go as they do, I'm only on a 50-50 with all of it.
We shall see.
Yeah. But either way, apologies up front. May have to, you know,
Delay.
might be a delay, might have a best of re-release. Who knows? Because got to get this posted and also record another episode. But I'm going to be limited.
Yeah.
In what I can do and where I can go. Will I be able to go up and downstairs, and how long until that? You know, because this is all down in the basement and in our magical office.
Beautiful.
So we shall see. We
will.
It is what it is.
So, do you want me to tell you about this movie?
Yeah, tell us about this holiday movie.
Okay. This movie is called, appropriately, Thanksgiving. It was released in 2023, directed by Eli Roth. If that name sounds familiar to you, he's the director of Hostel and Cabin Fever. And
Eli Roth should be known to anybody who has even the most remote interest in horror.
Yeah.
He's been around and
oh yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, director, actor, writer, producer.
Yeah.
It was written by Jeff Rendell and Eli Roth, starring the one and only Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah.
Ty Olsson, Gina Gershon, and Lynn Griffin. Rated R, I assume for gore.
Yeah, this is well, I mean, it's like most of the films recently. I mean, the big selling point, and folks, we've talked about this show that you should see. It's a documentary, Blood, Boobs, and Beast. That was the 3 Bs that were the pinnacle of success formula for horror movies. And if you know anything about horror in the 80s, almost every single one has at least one topless scene. A great deal of them have a lot of nudity, and for no real good reason other than sell those tickets. Right?
Yeah.
We've gotten away from that.
The budget for this was estimated to be $15 million. The worldwide gross was $46.5 million, so that is a success.
It is. I mean, that's, you know, it's 3 times
Yeah.
your budget, so you made that money back and twice.
And then some.
After you paid everything and everybody.
Yeah.
In the aftermath.
Yeah. So successful that right now Thanksgiving 2 is in pre-production.
Nice.
Yeah. So here is the log line. After a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving inspired killer terrorizes Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the infamous holiday.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would call Thanksgiving infamous.
Yeah, I don't know what. Interesting choice of words.
It is.
Um, yeah.
Someone hates Thanksgiving.
Well, let's see if we're going to hate Thanksgiving, shall we?
Well, why don't you start?
All right. All right. So we are in Plymouth, Massachusetts on Thanksgiving. There's this heavy breathing and sound of squishy footsteps as we have a POV going towards a house. It's a cop, and he's a guest at this party. Inside, and there's a bunch of people. Um, it was like a whirlwind of names,
Yeah.
and I just put names will be assigned accordingly because it was yeah. I don't do rosters.
No.
So some of these character names, as usual with me, will be correct. Others will be wholly improvised because that's how my head works.
So the main character, I never got his name throughout this whole thing. I call him Cop Dempsey
Sweet.
because it's Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, I don't even know if I. We'll find out.
All right. Good luck.
All right, so yeah, as that's happening, we're going through the cut scenes and the camera moving. There's basic chatter. Turkey's served. The host is a woman. She brings it out. Her husband was called into work at the Right Mart, which is clearly Walmart in disguise. At the store, a bunch of angry fucking people waiting for the doorbuster sale to open.
For Black Friday.
Yeah, and
This
which
movie really should have been called Black Friday, I think.
kind of. So inside, it's nice and quiet. There's the serene store music playing at home. We have kids yakking. A young girl is talking about her stepmother with her boyfriend. The two of them have to leave to go to the movies with friends. So next, we're in a car packed with teens. There's usual banter of no real interest. Off they go. Later, they're in town. Traffic is tied up. They've ended up in front of the Right Mart. They decide to go in. Now, I'm just saying, no way in hell.
So one of their phones broke and they want to go in and get a replacement.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Even still, you're like, no, I'm out. And last thing you want to do is run into your parent at the beginning of a night out, especially in their workplace. But anyway, so the young woman's boyfriend's name is Bobby and her name is Jess. Bobby is popular for football, it would seem. Jess bumps into some dude trying to snake her from Bobby. Bobby cuts it off. The cop and the host lady are there too, and there's tension amongst the crowd. Bobby and Jess's crew are rivals to some other dudes in the crowd, so it's a whole high school thing. Uh, they get in through an employee-only door. Again, eh, why she would have a key to that, but sure.
Where her dad or stepmom works or wherever.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so the crowd sees the other kids inside once they've gone in, and they're just acting like fucking fools. And then with 3, 2, 1, the crowd is charging. Security runs away. Inside, another security guy is trying to open the door, and the glass is cracking. Finally, the door bursts in on top of the security guy. The crowd rushes in, trampling him. There are people slipping, falling, fighting. In the mess, some guy comes with his throat cut, is somehow trying to make way with a small appliance.
Yeah. There's some good gore and violence in this, like Stampede.
Yeah, let me just because before I finish it off, this is an A plus in terms of the gore so far. We're just a few minutes in and we're getting it. It's top tier, very satisfying. So for a horror movie, kudos. We're getting hit with it. So there's more people fighting And then the host lady is trying to sneak her way through, and then she's crushed by two women pushing carts into one another, and part of her scalp is peeled off. Her husband finds her dead on the floor and is crying. The cop finally pulls his gun and fires it into the ceiling, yelling, "Stop!"
Uh-huh.
And then we cut to video caught by one of the crew kids. Is playing on a laptop. Gloved hands close the laptop. And then in a dark room, there's newspaper clippings on the wall. A small TV is showing a live news coverage of a protest. Uh, it's been 1 year since the Thanksgiving event. Uh, Bobby is out of the picture in sports. Host lady's husband is throwing the store company under the bus, um, or the store's parent company under the bus. And then now we're at a diner. So a cop or a sheriff comes in, and he's waiting for a new deputy to arrive. Outside, very rough-looking man in a redneck pickup comes barreling in. Deputy comes in, sits with the sheriff, and puts on a Puritan mask and hat.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, the crew of kids are walking around some fair. Jess is walking with a girl. The jock who filmed everything comes up and is told to piss off by Jess. The sheriff and stepmom go into one of the buildings. Apparently, in there is a place where someone was going to make a commercial. It's been vandalized. Sheriff calls it in. The dude who tried to snake Jess last year is still scheming. He comes in and smarms it up a bit.
Oh, she's dating him now.
Is she dating him now?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part. All right. So anyway, the kid crew is at a diner. Jess spots Bobby going out a side door, does nothing. Then everyone gets a text with a picture of a table saying, "Table is set." Uh, Snake Dude comes in. Oh, yeah, he's dating Jess now. Snake Dude gains the guy's affection by offering football tickets. There we go. Uh, Jess looks out the window and sees someone wearing a Puritan mask. Then, in a blink, he's gone. Cut to someone sharpening the axe that was taken from the vandalized room. I forgot to mention that in my thing.
That's okay.
Did you too?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, I made up for it. So we're at the diner. It's night. It's dark. Diner's closed. Waitress is locking up. She finds a Puritan mask on the counter. She tries it on, walks to the back and tosses it, grabs her coat, and bam! The Puritan killer comes running in, cuts her, soaks her by trying to drown her, sticks her face in the freezer door. It freezes. she she rips the skin off of her face to run as he comes at her with an axe. So she runs, locks herself in a room, tries to call 911, but wouldn't you know it, no service.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to pause on that for a second. This is still being used a lot, but as people who live out in the middle of nowhere who actually have a tangible fear of not having service from minute to minute,
Uh-huh.
it's actually not that bad. We've had very, very few instances where there's been an issue. So
Yeah.
I do wish, so writers, let's get rid of the no signal. That's I'm personally kind of fatigued by that. That is
I
not,
know.
it's not a clever way to get rid of the whole cell phone thing, because horror movies, that was the whole thing. You cut one cord and all the phones in the house are useless,
Right.
right? Landlines. That line going into the house, you're fucked if that's done. And that's what every killer would do. And that brings up the tension and all that stuff. But these are cell phones, right? If cell phone service had as much difficulty providing service globally as they depict in the shows, we wouldn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
We'd be like,
Why bother?
yeah, fuck these things, you know? So that aside, she comes out and I just put, why? Just because your phone doesn't work means you leave your place of safety. You're behind a door. You know,
Well, she's in the security room and she can see the cameras in the diner and it looks empty. That's
but
why she goes back out.
but But here's the thing. If you're in a room, you wait.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't see everything. You don't see outside. You don't see behind the dumpsters. You don't see what's going on. And you don't see under the camera. Anyway, she grabs her purse, runs out the back door, heads to her car. She can't find her keys because Killer Puritan is in her car. He starts it, lights on, charges towards her. She runs and dives into a dumpster, which he slams into. Which you think, sweet, she got away. And then suddenly, because she's only halfway in, the lid falls and fucking cuts her in half.
Yeah.
And I just wrote, this is pretty fucking good effects.
It is.
Unexpected and nice and gory and squishy. And at this point, I made the decision. I don't care how ridiculous this movie may or may not get, win. I was
Yeah.
I was satisfied with this, and
Yeah, it's great.
good stuff.
So now we're back with Cop Dempsey, who finds her bottom half on the big store sign.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty great.
I love that we didn't necessarily have to like endure that whole segment.
How did it get there?
Yeah, but I like when a writer, or particularly a director, decides, oh, we'll just, we don't need to know how, just do it.
Yeah.
Woo.
So the teens see the murder news and also notice that their names are on the text photo they got earlier, like in the little place cards.
Yes.
Name places at the table. Meanwhile, the cops see the killer in the footage and they say that everyone in town is wearing that costume because that's what Plymouth does. Apparently, they all dress like pilgrims. We then learn that the daughter's money-grubbing store owner dad is upping security but not closing the store. And while they're all kind of chatting, we see that there's a van watching them, and then they meet the guy who's throwing this like party.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this storyline is incredibly convoluted for what should just be a gore fest.
There are, I would say, I'm not going to give it a number, but there are too many subtexts
Yeah.
going on, and there are also too many tertiary. We got a B story, C story, D story, and an E story, and
Yeah.
all of them, they're trying to put subtexts out for each of those. And I do remember thinking, I don't know that any of this is going to matter.
I mean, there is a very like consumerism is bad message.
Oh, it's super obvious.
Right.
I mean, this could easily be a PSA.
Yeah.
it's bad because this is what happens. Poor woman gets cut in half.
Right.
Okay.
So, the Jess is her name. I just call her the daughter.
Yeah, Jess.
She's with Cop Dempsey, and he's asking her if she knows anything about why the cameras weren't working that night. I'm guessing at the store or the diner. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she acts a little weird about it.
The store, that was a big thing because the
Mhm.
reason
only footage they had was the
her
cell phone.
ex-boyfriend,
Yeah.
in the midst of all this, just standing there filming it, not actually trying to like help anybody or do anything, and that was kind of their riff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, outside the police station, Bobby is there and she has a weird, kind of awkward conversation with him. They talk about the stampede. He got trampled in it. His arm is on the mend still from a year ago. And she tells him that her stepmom deleted the security footage from that night. They can get it back from her and she wants to see it. And then her new boyfriend breaks up her chat with Bobby. Snake guy. So then we get to see the Pilgrim's crazy board, and it's great. The Pilgrim Killer. And then one of the security guards is highlighted on it because he was the one that ran away.
Yes.
And he seems to know he's going to be targeted because he seems to be planning a sudden vacation, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
His passport is missing, though, so he's looking for it. A board creaks in the house. The mask is then, the like pilgrim mask is sitting on his couch, and he seems to know that he's in trouble, so he starts yelling. And then The pilgrim comes out of nowhere, stabs him in the dick from under the table, and then garrots his head off.
Yes.
And he puts the head in a bag. And this, I thought, was just a lovely touch. Feeds the cat before leaving the house.
Yes.
The gore, A+.
Yes.
It's great. And it's very satisfying to see this guy get it. And then the killer like, yeah, I'm going to feed the kitty cat.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. We've talked a lot about horror movies, gore movies. We just want the horror and gore. The story's irrelevant. So we are still wrestling with these 16 sub stories and
Yeah.
their 18 subtexts in each. But I will say, I am going to give an A+++ to whoever thought of him stopping what he's doing to feed the cat in the middle of this Midland
Yeah.
budget horror B movie. That was wonderful.
It was.
I did enjoy that.
So then Jess is going to bed, and we see the pilgrim killer setting up the plates on this table with his 2 kills. Like the head on one of them. And then the girl gets the photo that he sends her in the morning. So the police are reporting that they're out looking for him. And Jess is looking over the stampede footage and prints a photo. And then her boyfriend, snake guy, who I got, Ryan is his name, pauses driving by, but then leaves. And then the daughter has sort of a weird moment with her, like, store dad. I think Cop Dempsey is also her dad. I think the store guy is her stepdad, but I don't know. This family is very confusing.
It kind of is.
It's convoluted.
Because there's a bit where her dad is going on about using work to survive.
Uh-huh.
You know, and his new wife makes him happy. Just very weird how they all. There's a lot of conversations that are very short, but seem out of place.
Mm-hmm.
And that lends to the confusion of what is the relationship? Is this a family relationship? Is it like friend?
It's
so
very
close
much
it's
like, what am I
family?
supposed to be paying attention to?
Yeah. What in here is actually relevant?
Yeah.
Which is kind of why we don't need this kind of
I will
secondary
say,
stuff.
it could be true to real life, because I've known families that are, complicated.
Oh, I'm not arguing
Right?
that. Yeah, that's fantastic. But that takes that whole setup, those words you just said, that belongs in a pitch for a drama or
Right.
a thriller or something, not a gore horror.
Not a slasher.
Yeah.
So then Jesse and Bobby are giving the info from the tapes to Cop Dempsey. And the photo that she printed out shows her boyfriend Ryan hugging the security guard that we just saw killed.
Yes.
And Cop Dempsey tells Jesse and Bobby to be careful who you trust.
Yeah.
So then we see they're in school. One of the friends, Douche is what I'm calling him, is reading a report he didn't write. The teacher wrote it for her blog, and he gets called out. So he stole the report from her blog. And then the friends are talking about whether the killer could be Ryan. They're also suspicious of Bobby. They also mention a Mitch, maybe.
Right. Douche's name is Evan.
Oh, okay.
Just so, I mean, you can keep calling him whatever.
Sure. And I think Mitch is the party guy. I don't know. He's like this guy that hosts parties at his house, and it's just
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so Ryan tries to call Jessie. She ignores it, and then we see him in a pilgrim outfit for the parade. He has a pretty threatening conversation with Bobby. And then we're in the school gym. There's a teacher with a student, and she leads him through a dark area to a trampoline, and while she's jumping for him, the pilgrim killer grabs his head, turns it 180 degrees.
Well, yeah, she's stripping.
Oh, okay.
While jumping, but we don't get that far.
Sure. And then he proceeds to stab the girl through the trampoline as she is jumping, which is awesome.
That
I
Oh,
know. He sticks. So, okay. What I said doesn't accurately relay what happened, which is she's jumping on this trampoline, not realizing the guy is dead.
right. Then his head did a 180.
Right. Like all the way around.
Yeah.
Um, and a blade comes up through the fabric of the trampoline while she's jumping.
And as she lands on it, it digs out the
Yeah.
back of her foot and leg
Uh-huh.
because this isn't like a 3-inch blade.
Right. It's a big one.
My legs right now
Oh,
are
and your
like,
feet?
are cringing.
I
Yes.
know.
Just that. Oh, fuck.
And it's so visceral.
And then she's still bouncing.
Mm-hmm.
And then more spikes and blades come through. And then she goes back down. And this goes on
Mm-hmm. For
until
quite a while.
until the momentum is gone.
Yeah.
This is fucking wild.
It's nice.
This is going to be one of my top 10 favorite kills.
Yeah. It was great. So then we learn that the football game has been canceled, and then one of the kids is so mad he's gonna play football by himself.
Yeah.
And then the party guy, Mitch, maybe, fires a gun
Uh-huh.
and like it's chaos at this game, besides the one guy who's like, I'm still gonna play.
Yeah.
So Cop Dempsey tells Jesse this is where I did get her name. Okay. To stay in pairs for safety. She doesn't.
No.
The pilgrim gets Douche and his girlfriend, who are friends of Jess. And then she gets a text from them asking to come into the back of the school with them. So she goes back. And this is inside the school with the cops outside. She texts her friend again and then hears the phone in like a recycling cart
Mm-hmm.
that's in the hallway.
Yeah.
And then the pilgrim is there with the axe that was stolen from the commercial scene. And we get a good chase scene between him and her.
Yeah. Um. Well, continue.
Okay. So the pilgrim enters this classroom that is a cosmetology classroom.
That's what. Yeah. I. So when this first happens, right? My first thought I wrote in the chase is on, and then like they have a hair salon at this school.
Right? They have a cosmetology class in high school?
Yeah. Now,
Sure.
the largest city that I lived in during high school was Madison. So
Mhm.
a quarter of a million people,
Yeah.
250,000, give or take, right? Had some big high schools.
Yeah.
My high school when I was there because of open choice was like bursting. Told you they had to like divide the hallways and turn them into classrooms to fit all the people. It was
Wild.
fucking wild. But I have never ever been to or even seen a school that had like a cosmetology hairstyling class.
No.
It's art. And
Yeah.
then if you're lucky enough, like we had an auto shop, separate small building
Yeah.
for auto shop class. And then you got your woodworking and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, this threw me off.
It was weird.
It really did.
So then Jess is hiding with the doll head mannequins. And he's getting close, kind of looking. And she reaches for scissors as a weapon, I guess, and then knocks something off the counter. And he's chasing her again.
Yep.
So next we see her outside with Cop Dempsey. Her friends are there, the living ones still.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby gives her his coat, and then Ryan comes up, and Bobby and Ryan get into a big fight about the security guard. Ryan says he was buying Adderall from the guy. He didn't really know him. And then Cop Dempsey breaks up the boy fight. Yeah. And Jess pushes them both away. She doesn't want either of them now.
Yeah, tells them to both piss off. Gives them an earful.
Yeah. And then the dad of one of her friends, who I call Blondie, comes and says he's taking her to Florida. This town isn't safe anymore.
Yeah, very weird.
It is weird.
So he takes her away, and then we cut to a party. And then we have gun guy from earlier. There's people outside puking. Mm-hmm. Some kids come up acting all tough and grown up, which sparks a beleaguered monologue from gun guy. Um, kicks the kids out when they ask who Black Sabbath is
Yeah.
because he mentions it and who's Black Sabbath and out they go. So inside, lots of drinking, drunks, and drugs. Gun guy uh, takes in the kid crew, gives one a gun.
Uh-huh.
I mean, so maybe in certain areas of the country this is a thing, but the parties I've been to, the complimentary beer when you walk in or drink or whatever, um, never has anyone just been like, you know, here's here's your rum and coke, here's your gun,
Uh-huh.
you know, Ralph has the bullets, go find him.
I guess you haven't been to many good parties.
Clearly not, because most of the parties I've been to are ones that I threw, and I really didn't care how anyone else was, going on about it. So anyway, now we're with dad, or with the dad and daughter who are nameless. So
Florida.
yeah, the one that's going to Florida. So she's packing. Dad gives a deputy some food, walks away, and then Killer Puritan shoots deputy with a tranquilizer gun. Okay. So now our Florida girl is walking through the house calling for her dad, nothing but silence. And then a jump scare as he pops into frame wearing headphones, which was a little
Weird.
weird. And I want to say, and I don't want to run this poor fellow down, but there's two things that happened here. One, the character as written and perceived by the actor was such that this gentleman had never worn a pair of headphones before, because I have never seen anything so unnatural in all my life. Or worse yet, the actor himself had never worn headphones before. Because in either case, it is a convincing job of some people just shouldn't have some things. I can't explain it. It just didn't work. So dad goes downstairs, finds the downed deputy, and then he's shot with a dart too. So Florida girl cleans her ears with Q-tips while on the phone with her boyfriend. Then Killer Puritan comes into frame and jams half a pencil in each of her ears.
Yeah.
Ugh. Boyfriend freaks seeing this and then races to her house.
You're already too late.
I mean, if you are watching, if you're FaceTiming somebody and then half their head explodes out of the frame, I don't think you need to rush at that point,
No.
even in a panic, right?
You call
You
911.
call 911, tell them what you just saw, and rapidly start working on the fucking psychological and emotional damage that is
Yeah.
taking place and going to fester for the rest of your life. So, anyway, dad and deputy are on the ground. Florida girl is being held by Killer Puritan. Um, dude with gun tries to shoot, nothing happens.
His name is Scuba, by the
Scuba.
way. Yeah.
Oh, well, I missed that completely. It's fine. Uh, so Killer Puritan throws the girl at a table saw that turned on. So she goes to catch herself. And this is another one. You see it coming
is.
1,000 miles away.
Uh-huh.
And the angst and anxiousness and just the ghost feeling of what is about to happen. She tries to catch herself and her fingers are cut off as she tries to hold herself up. Then she slips forward.
Yeah, because her fingers are cut off.
Well, and it's bloody and slippery because,
Yeah.
table saw is just pure metal.
Yeah.
Get something on it, it's slippery. Anyway, this poor girl, this blade just ends up fucking ripping her up in one of those. Oh my God.
The blood spray.
She could, yes.
Oh,
It was, it was
so good.
like the rains in April.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was for somebody who we're not really invested in. The composition of this kill is such that I actually felt more for her
I know.
than anybody else because you're just by the time it's still going on, you're just that your brain is like, oh my God, this poor. Why can't she just fucking die?
I know.
Holy
Pencils in the
shit.
ears. It's
Yeah,
woo.
and oh man. So yeah, it's a bit of a heartbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think she was that bad of a person that she warranted this on-screen death.
Right?
So, and Then we're back with the sheriff. Jess is in shock as they're sitting amongst all the cops. There's big talk about not participating in the parade, as if the audience gives a shit at
Right?
this point, right? Um, Jess says the parade is their only chance to catch the killer. I would disagree on 1,000 different levels, but moving on.
Right.
And then we learn more about, or we hear more about last year. Store owner says he's closing the store for the holiday. Well, half the town's dead. I don't think we should be like, yay, buddy. Are you fucking kidding me?
What I wrote here is Cop Dempsey says they can use the empty warehouse right from the store
Sure.
to catch the killer. And I wrote, this is going to go so perfectly, I am sure.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Everything goes without a hitch in film. Okay. So yeah, he stepmom is upset. Or yeah. And then Mr. Dempsey. Well, here's so he's on board with using the parade as a trap, right? And at this point, I wrote, I mean, is no one mourning these dead kids?
Nope.
Or even do their families care? Because really, I understand as a sheriff, all of that should be secondary. So anyway, what ends up happening is we see the next day the parade prep is going. Killer Puritan is putting on a winter coat. The whole gang is costumed up to be in the parade. Gun Guy gives Jess his dad's ring he wore in Iraq for good luck.
Oh, I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah. Well, I did. And it doesn't matter that you didn't. So, so the parade is now underway through the town. On the float, Jess thinks she sees Killer Puritan. There's lots of people dressed like that.
Yeah.
So at what point do you be like, that's the one?
Right.
Right. And we saw him put on a winter coat to blend in instead of wearing, like Mike Myers, you can pick out of a lineup, right? Because he's the only fucking guy who sticks with a jumpsuit and mask, no matter what's going on. Rain, winter, snow, cold, hot, nothing. Right. But these all look like just normal people in the cold wearing silly stuff. So, and because no one would think to put this on the news, or no one would think to watch the news, or even make an announcement of general danger with a serial killer on the rampage.
Right.
Whatever. Everything's just going on as if yesterday was another day.
I know.
And nothing happened. So then we get a freaky looking clown sweeps in and cuts the head off of someone in the turkey outfit.
Yeah, the turkey mascot.
Yeah. There's a killer crash with awesome fun effects. There's crowd panic. Killer Puritan clown, because that's what I named him now, tosses a flash bang grenade and then darts everyone and then drives off with them.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're in the lair.
The killer's lair.
Yes. There's some 40s style music playing. He's got the stepmom on a table. He's basting her with butter. I want to just make a quick comment on that moment. She's surrounded by carrots and potatoes, by the way. But this was one of the more disturbing scenes in a number of movies that we've watched. I don't know what it is, but I don't know what they're going for. Just like weird. It's like some pseudo-psychosexual slant.
Him like tucking herbs in between her toes.
Yeah. But just the whole basting somebody with butter. I don't know. I find that marvelously uncomfortable.
It is.
I mean, immensely. And then he shakes some salt on her and the seasoning. Takes off his mask, but we don't see his face. Sets it on an oven, or an incinerator, actually. It gets burned, and then he puts it back on. I just wrote, sure.
Right.
Was that on purpose? Was it a whoopsie? Don't know. then picks up a pitchfork because Basted stepmom is gone. The hunt is on. So she ends up finding a dead dude, stays quiet, doesn't lose her shit. The timer goes off, and Killer Puritan has to go turn it off, and the hunt is back on. She gets away, finds a room with a computer or with computer stuff going on. And by that means there's just a lot of screens and a lot of stuff that doesn't
Yeah.
make a whole lot of sense. And then she finds another body as a fridge door opens, and the body is actually not a dead body. It's Florida Girl. Killer Puritan comes in, stepmom hides. He follows bloody footprints, and she's waiting with a bottle to hit him. He gets the jump on her, spears her with a pitchfork as she runs away, drags her back to the oven, then proceeds to cook her. He stabs her with a pressure cooker thing.
Turkey temper.
Yeah, the little
Mm-hmm.
pop-up thing. She cooks slowly. Not bad, but not great. This is, I think, the weakest effect in the whole movie. And then the pressure thingy pops up and she's done. So now he's live streaming and the cops are on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, but the table is full. Cops go to the address. It's a parking lot. Deputy hints at a tunnel. Cops are going into the tunnels now. They find a room with a monitor showing the table stream and a cell phone streaming the monitor. So that is actually not too bad. It's pretty simplistic, right?
Yeah.
But instead, they track the IP and everything. Well, they ended up tracking the fucking phone, which is streaming what it's seeing on the monitor. So I thought, okay, I'll give you a solid B for that one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Stepmom is on the table like a cooked turkey. It's hilarious, but she's headless, so we know there's no point. Her husband pukes. Killer Puritan does a monologue. Says they're going to go around the table and say what they are thankful for. He makes Evan, douche, go first, saying his video inspired Killer Puritan to make his own. So then Killer Puritan, I wrote KP in here, but I like saying Killer Puritan.
Sure. I just call him the Pilgrim, basically, the whole movie.
Oh, we have such different takes on things sometimes. So anyway, Killer Puritan pulverizes Evan's head on the table with a meat hammer. That was nice. And then we have more monologue. Jess has a blade in her ring, the Iraq ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So she uses it to cut away at her ropes. Killer Puritan starts to serve up stepmom. Jess passes the ring along. And then Killer Puritan makes the husband take a bite of his wife.
So they get the ropes off. They throw a chair at the Pilgrim and run, and he chases. Scuba may have died somehow in this, and I missed it. But now the Pilgrim is chasing Jess, and she ends up hurting her ankle while jumping a fence to get away from him. She ends up near a cop car, and I see Cop Dempsey laying next to it. And I was like, I don't think he's dead. You'd think they'd give old Patrick an on-screen death at least.
Right.
So she takes his gun and sees Bobby in a Pilgrim outfit. And then Cop Dempsey gets up and is helping Jess now. They scared off Bobby, and then they're at the police station. And Dempsey is turning in his weapon because it was fired.
Yeah.
Someone in the alleyway at the police station grabs a hammer. And then Jess asks Cop Dempsey for a minute before they go. So he leaves the room, and she's sitting there with the evidence bags. And then Cop Dempsey returns, and she sees his shoes and realizes that he's the killer. She says she's not feeling well, and he says they'll have a doctor check her out. And then he realizes that she knows, and he shuts the door. He says he couldn't do this without her help. He says Mitch wasn't the only one who lost someone that night. And I'm like, maybe I'm wrong about who Mitch was, but I thought he was the party guy. I don't know. So this is kind of complicated, but
Bring it.
Cop Dempsey was in love with Amanda, who was Jess's mom, who
The
got
host
trampled.
lady
Yeah, who
who
got
had her
trampled in the last year
in
thing.
her scalp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jess reveals that she's live streaming all this on her phone as he monologues, and he gets mad. So then Bobby comes to help Jess, and then they're running somewhere. And while he's looking for them, he says, "This year there will be no leftovers."
Yes, we both got that one.
And I think there's nothing better, actually, than Patrick Dempsey making Thanksgiving puns. I don't know why. It just, that really hit.
It
It was so dumb.
did. I mean, it was weird.
It was.
It was weird. And, he made his career as a teen movie star, comedies,
Yeah.
right? But I guess it's been so long.
People forgot that Patrick Dempsey is funny.
Yeah, it's like Grey's Anatomy
I
and all these
know.
other hard-hitting things, and to have him just throw out what is
This year there will be no leftovers.
what is arguably a 75-cent pun.
Uh-huh. It is. It's excellent. And he will be in Thanksgiving too, by the way.
Yes.
I looked.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll maybe cover this next year.
There we go.
So the kids get in the truck and start to drive away, but Cop Dempsey does something to get them stuck. I didn't quite catch what. And they manage to drive again, but he grabs a winch cable and loops it around a post. I think because he got that stuck on him. I'm not sure. So Jess loads a musket with her mom's bracelet.
Yeah, ends up getting a powder rifle, shoves a bracelet into it.
Yeah, and then she shoots a helium turkey from the parade floats to incinerate Dempsey.
Well, a flammable gas thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a helium turkey?
Yeah.
So then, I've after everything, this kill made me go, I don't know. The incineration just was kind of like flat. Meh.
Yeah. But, there's a reason for it.
Yeah. So Jess and Bobby are then saying goodbye around an ambulance. Ryan comes up and hugs her. The firefighters couldn't find a body. Dun, dun, dun. So Jess is sleeping in bed with Ryan and gets up in the night. She looks in the closet, and then as she's coming out, burned up Dempsey grabs her from behind.
On fire.
On fire still.
Yeah.
Fiery Dempsey, that is what I wrote. She wakes up, the end.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there's a lot to unpack here.
There is.
To talk about. Yeah, why don't we get into that? Okay, so we've mentioned the gore.
Yeah.
And the effects.
Yeah.
Solid A+ for that. They really brought it. And what was nice was it happened quickly, even if not a little weirdly. Getting crushed by 2 shopping carts, I can't get my head around that.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Eli Roth's body of work, the gore is always top-notch. Hostel was excellent gore-wise.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever was really good gore-wise.
Yeah. And, I mean, well, he gets it. If you see an Eli Roth film, you're going to get a hearty helping
of
blood and gore, and
guts.
If not, sometimes slightly off murders or
creative stuff.
Yeah, the kills are not just blah,
right?
But this movie suffers from a syndrome that a lot do. So we've had all these great things, right? At the end of your horror film, that last one, if it's the last person or if it's the killer, needs to be the epoch of kills, right? We're building up. We found out who it is. We all this, and we don't care. It's like watching a race, right?
Yeah.
I paid $75 for this ticket to sit in the stands. I don't give a fuck who wins. I don't even know who's in it. I'm waiting for bang, crash.
Oh yeah.
Right? that is the one point where it fell short. That whole bit at the end with the explosion, the guy coming out, there was nothing left. Everything was burnt to ashes. And I put in my notes, no, not really, because there's a pile of shit everywhere, smoldering and smoking. Nothing got reduced to ashes,
Right.
right? So that is my only criticism on the kills and the effects and stuff, was that was not, it was way below. I mean, it was kind of like almost the only thing that would have made it more mundane was if it took place off camera.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
we
yeah, just
heard
that
these,
last one, you're like, meh.
yeah, you know. But other than that, wholly satisfied with this movie in terms of the horror aspect.
Yes.
Um, the the
Acting was fine.
I mean, yeah, you know, nobody's gonna end up on the red carpet for this one, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Um, it did suffer, as we've said, too many things. It's a horror movie, and if it's a straight horror movie, whether it's slasher or whatever, right? The gore is the plot. The gore is the story. Nobody fucking has ever throughout history given a shit about 7 characters
I know.
in a horror film.
And each having their own particular line.
Right. Which none of them go anywhere.
No.
None of them. None of them. The whole "I'm taking her to Florida," that was completely unnecessary. And that whole play up and I mentioned like the headphones thing. I'm serious. The guy looked like he was about to come fucking unglued. Right? It's the first time he's had something on his head and he just did not. It would be like taking one of the cats, right? And putting headphones on them. They're going to fucking just look terrible and miserable. And like, and that's what he reminded me of.
I'm imagining a person reacting like a cat when you try and put headphones on them.
Yeah.
The slinking away.
I mean, believe it or not, and I don't know, folks may disagree, but there's an art to wearing headphones. We do it every fucking session when we do this, and
Yeah.
we do it for other things and editing, and we wear headphones for work, for phone calls, and there is a way to wear them, which is simply put them on,
Mm-hmm.
make sure they're fit, and then just act like they're not there. But
Yeah.
this guy was, you know what he reminded me of? Reminded me of like a new actor or an extra or something who just can't not look at the lens,
Oh,
at the
sure.
camera. Like they're looking off at 45 degrees and their eyes keep shooting over, and then they end up head cocked this way and they're talking to the camera
I know.
instead of the guy in front of them. But I think that was also just born of that whole setup and scene, the whole packing for Florida thing. It just didn't. It, it was unnecessary. We could have just injected the kill
Yeah.
into like, okay, I'm taking my daughter home now,
Mm-hmm.
and then just leave it at that, right? Because she did not once for a second convince me she was packing to actually leave.
No.
Okay. The down points. I mean, that's pretty much all of them. That's pretty much it. The
It was
lackluster
the
final
story was
kill.
overcomplicated
Well, yeah.
for the gore.
Yeah, we didn't need all of that.
But I do think and I want to forgive this movie a little bit because the gore was so good.
Yeah.
I do think that if we weren't trying to keep notes on it, it might have read a little better. You know what I mean? But it might have gotten a little tedious at times. Because by the time the first kill came along, I wrote in my notes, "I'm ready for a kill, please. Can someone die?" And it was shortly after that, yeah, someone did die.
And it really wasn't that long.
No, it wasn't.
Comparatively. And I know the whole formula, and there are people who will argue, and I'll just argue back, you don't need the big buildup.
No.
Right? If you want to have a killer with a history, with a reason and stuff, which for slashers, you really don't.
It's not completely necessary.
No. Well, like the whole thing with Mike Myers.
It's like, when you put sprinkles on ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
A few sprinkles is just fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to dip the ice cream in the sprinkles because then it's just sprinkles.
Yeah. Or you don't need to do it every bite.
Right.
Especially. But let's use Mike Myers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Mike Myers, for the most part, we didn't have a fucking clue, other than when he was a kid, lost his shit and killed his sister,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then was in an asylum and escaped. I'm good at that point. But Halloween 2, Halloween 3 wasn't even a Halloween movie. fucking season of the witch. Give me a break. But they spent so much time trying to explain to us without definitively defining what Mike Myers was, right? But it took away from everything. And as is with like a lot of horror series, the kills got less and less, and it was just got to the point where it was boring and ridiculous. And then we wait 25 years, and then we bring everybody back. Jamie Lee Curtis, what a waste of talent
Yeah.
in those last films, because it really wasn't even about her. Laurie wasn't the thing. It was all Mike.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Myers this, Mike Myers that. And it's like, I don't give a shit if he's just like fully fucking mental, if he's possessed by a fucking demon, or if, you know, for some reason he got thrown into the womb of a woman by a supernatural force that was here to, you know, dispense chaos and sow havoc everywhere. Doesn't matter. That first Halloween was creepy as fuck because you didn't know what is up with this guy. What's wrong with this dude?
Yeah.
Right? And then that whole thing at the end where he's loaded with bullets and Donald Pleasant looks out the window and he's gone. Yeah. That was enough.
Yeah.
That was enough. But I understand it's about making money. It's about capitalizing on what you've got. And fine. Right? However, too many people look at that franchise and the franchises and try to do all this explaining and setup and stuff.
I know.
You know, didn't necessarily need it. Like so-and-so, the sheriff was having an affair and this.
Well, just like I don't care about origin stories for slashers.
No. You know, if anything, like there've been movies we've watched and we're like, man, you know, would make a good second movie. A film that takes place 10 years before this one we just saw. Let's see what this guy was up to then.
Right.
Right? Because he's been at it for a long time. I'm not talking about Thanksgiving, but just in general.
Right.
You know, I'm not interested in prequels. I'm just interested in more story of somebody, if it can be done well and, you know, satisfy the bloodlust kind of thing. I'm for it. But a lot of horror stuff is one and done.
I know.
I think, you know, like the whole Scream franchise bores the shit out of me. Like how many?
I know.
What's his trigger today? Chess pieces?
I mean, and like the Friday the 13th movies went way off the rails. But I mean, by the time they got to 10, like Jason in space, you were like, what does it fucking matter?
I know. Well, and then it's like, well, we ran out of ideas for this. We ran out of ideas for Freddy. How about we put the two of them together? Kind of like Alien versus Predator.
Right.
We've got these super forces going on. They're both from outer space. So naturally, they should come together.
Right.
And they all stunk.
They weren't great.
No. So yeah, really the only downside is too much sideways shit going on.
Yeah.
Right? We don't
and
need
too
the
many
stories.
characters. If you're going to have red shirts in a slasher, they can be one-dimensional. You don't need to try to make them more than that.
Exactly. I know almost nothing about any of the dudes in the red shirts who got killed in the original series of Star Trek. And you know what? I'm sure there's fan fiction and stuff out there for it. I don't care.
Well, I mean, yeah, in your classic like kids in a cabin horror movie, right? You get all the tropes. You get the jock, the popular girl, the stoner, the, you know, good girl.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all they need to be.
And that's really it. You're filling in the tropes. And that's it. The trope does all the explaining for us.
It does.
Right? At this point,
that's what they're for.
Unless somebody has just come of age, right? And is now able to watch like horror movies and stuff, and because their parents wouldn't let them watch any of this shit. Yeah, it's all new. But by the third movie in, anyone brand new to movie watching would be able to pick out, oh, that's the same as that girl in that other movie who's the same as that other guy in that other movie. That's a trope. And then okay, so we've got 5 and they got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing about red shirts is they need to go down quick. And I'm not opposed to having like 10 people on screen. Right. But I want to see at least 6 of them go down hard and gory, right? Without really knowing anything about them.
Yeah.
Don't care. I'm not, as a horror fan, I'm not here to feel sorry for the victims, right? There's enough real world shit where that goes on. I am here to see somebody just completely fucking unhinged, doing things to people to produce blood and gore because I've got, 120 minutes or 118 minutes or 90 minutes of time that I'm putting into this for this reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have horror. That's the only reason it exists as a genre. Tear shit up,
Yeah.
right? And especially slashers. Because we have watched a number of movies lately that we're not doing for the show, where it's just so long.
It is.
It's like,
And we've watched some where
whoa.
we've gone like an hour and we're like, I thought this was supposed to be horror. Literally, no one's died.
The
I give
horror,
up.
I know, the horror in those ones is basically how much more boring could this get?
I
That is
know.
actually horrifying. It's like
It
I
is.
thought I knew my limit and I thought I hit the floor, but this particular film is like, wow,
Yeah.
I didn't think I could be this bored, but here I am.
I know. It makes the Popeye horror movies look good.
Oh God. All right, so let's talk about. We talked about the effects. Everything else about this actually was for
Oh, yeah. The cinematography, the acting, the lighting, the locations. Like, it was all very good.
easy to believe there was a $15 million budget,
Oh, yeah.
and it was put in all the right places because things like the explosions and stuff, a lot of the stuff was practical.
A lot of it was, yeah.
Some of it was. I mean, if you can get away with this,
It was a good mix of practical and like appropriate use of CGI.
yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing. CGI should really be. We've talked about it. So, like blood
To
splats and stuff,
enhance.
like when people were getting shot,
Yeah.
yeah, to enhance or to save money and provide safety.
Right.
Because we've talked about in the past, squibs, right?
Can
They
be
can hurt
dangerous.
people. Actors have had ribs broken because they were improperly padded or the
Hmm.
squib was packed with too much explosive.
Yeah.
And that does not seem like a fair trade off
It doesn't.
for a movie, right? It's like, it's just a fucking movie, man. So, because David used it and it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Blood squirting and stuff, but then practically in the next shot, they've got blood on their shirt. We have seen where they've tried to put CGI blood on
On
shirts.
clothes. That's weird.
It's so weird, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Because
It moves around.
it moves around, and when they go from frame to frame, I know that they're to save time and money. They have somebody who's not fully on board with the whole software package. Like we'll use like Adobe After Effects because that's what I used for the one short, and tracking from frame to frame to frame. You've got to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right. So like for Alice, having the waitress walk by the warbly paintings, I had to mask her and then track her, but each frame I had to go in and readjust it because she had the frizzy hair.
Hmm.
And oh my fucking God, and the software's like, I don't know what to do. This is too much for me to handle. But that's why on huge A-level movies, they have a battery of effects folks
Right.
who this dude's job is to go frame by frame and make these little adjustments on this one thing. And the guy next to him is making this, doing the same frames, making adjustments on another thing. And that's why they, are 50, 60, 100, 150, $200 million productions because you
Hmm.
really got to do it. Marvel, I would say there were more effects people than there was the rest of the crew.
Yes.
Because that one, I can't remember which one it was, but we sat through and watched that fucking effects crew thing.
Oh, yeah.
Went and went and went. I'm like, wow, it's still going. Maybe there's a scene coming up. Nope, there's just a lot of people who made this shit look pretty.
Yep.
And that's fine. But anyway, yeah, they did a lot of practical stuff. But if you can use CGI to blow up something without actually blowing it up, that saves you tens of thousands of dollars.
It does. And it's much safer.
Yes. And like with guns, why have a gun that fires anything as compared to a gun that kicks, has a kick mechanism in it, but there's physically no way for anything to go into or out of the barrel. There's no actual firing mechanism. And then you CGI the muzzle flashes.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That's fine.
Right? Yeah. And most of them, they don't use the pat, pat, pat sound from the gun. That's the audio dude doing his Foley job. So why have it? Why even pretend?
Yeah.
The gun will go click, click, and you can match up where to put the
Yeah,
the effect.
it's like a clap, a
Yeah,
clapper.
yeah. Um, but yeah, the lighting again, we could see everything, we could hear everything. Sound was great. The framing, I wouldn't call it inspirational, but spot on, right, as it
Hmm.
should be. So very, at the very least, textbook, and it fit. Um, I just, yeah, my biggest bitch is just going to be too many people with too many stories that never went anywhere,
Yeah.
you know. And I guess if you're going to have somebody with a story whose death you want to mean something, they need to it needs to be towards the end, and they need to be a B level
Oh yeah.
character, right? The C, D, and E level stoner and shit. Nobody gives a shit because you don't give them enough time, and I don't want to give them enough time because we have leads, right?
Oh yeah.
And we have the heroes and the villain.
Yeah.
Those are,
I'm agreeing.
yeah, those are the ones that I care about. But if you're going to want to have something impactful, that person needs to have something other than, oh, my home life is so terrible, and my mother never loved me, and I've just been this, da 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 da. Yeah, because in that instance, sometimes honestly, some of the movies we've watched, I look at them like that's the best thing that could have happened to that person because their life was so miserable,
I know.
right? It's like, you know what, this is actually better for you because you do not look like somebody who is even at the beginning of the tracks to recovery. Your train never made it to the station,
Right.
you know. And that just comes from like super bad writing, overdoing it, and
Hmm.
melodramatic stuff. And it's like, phew, okay, well, you don't have to worry about anything, As compared to, we've seen some films where when somebody dies, no matter how much you are into them, or maybe even because you're into them, you're like, thank fucking God, finally dead.
Hmm.
Because the horror, the terror, the everything that's going on, like Table Saw Girl.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Well,
I
what
was
I
like,
loved is she's in the fridge and stepmom comes and sees her and she's like crying and she shuts her back in the fridge.
I, well,
I get
there's
it. There's a
yeah.
lot of nope. I mean, if I'm on the run from a killer and I see there's someone in a body in a bag in a fridge, I'm going to go, I'm so sorry. I just don't have time for you right now. I'm kind of busy.
I have time for this shit.
Yeah,
Take it somewhere else.
that poor girl.
Uh, um, I think my absolute biggest criticism though is the phone thing.
Sure.
And it's almost, I know with me it's almost always this little thing
Hmm.
that is like my big bitch. And I think it's a trope and we need to bury it. We
Yeah.
need to, as writers, we need to accept the fact that the old formulas are dead and gone. They all need to be redone and modified.
Mm.
And kind of a spoiler, but I will bring up, we are working on an additional podcast,
Yes.
and it has to do with like story elements and stuff. And anyway, we'll get more on that as time comes. That'll be probably close
Not
to
until next year.
spring,
Yeah.
because yeah, we got to do a lot of stuff and a lot of work that goes into. You don't just sit down and like go. We're really working this out, but it does. It, the pre-work building this does require us to look at all of the all of the different elements of story
Right.
writing, you know, and the names
And
that are given.
it's almost a nice refresher course that we're giving ourselves.
Yeah, um, just all kinds of things like Chekhov's gun and things like that.
Hmm.
But what we need to do, I think, is we need to step back as a whole, and I think from Hollywood at the top level, which they never will, and which is why I think they're gonna, end up on the wayside. But lower level and indie film, we need to erase all of the stuff having to do with story and structure and stuff,
Yeah.
and we need to rebuild it and rename it, and we need to do that with acceptance of what are the times like today. So everybody has a fucking cell phone. All the Popeye movies. Oh, no coverage. Oh, there's only coverage here in the bedroom if I stand on the headboard and put my phone like this and, stick my
We're
dick
so
in a
far
socket.
out in the middle of nowhere, there's no service, which is a true thing that happens.
I mean, that is a true thing that happens, but I mean, not everyone goes out there. And first of all, nobody would be fucking surprised.
But then there's also, voice over IP. Almost everyone has internet services wherever it is they are.
Yeah.
Even out in the country.
Well,
even out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I mean, not always.
Not 100%.
No, because we were looking at houses a long time ago. We look at houses, like things come up and it's like in Georgia, Kentucky, it could be anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's just some really gorgeous old houses, but we have seen some that they were lucky to even have like electricity.
Right.
And some of them even said there's no internet.
Well, it was a huge pain point to get internet where we are currently.
Yeah.
And we're just now, about able to get new internet, which is better.
Well, which I had mentioned in the last episode. By now we should have had it,
but it's 2025.
Yeah, let me just cover this, so I don't have to come back to it. So they came out. I was all excited, and they didn't realize that the junction box is a quarter mile down the drive,
mm-hmm.
and nothing had been run up. Just near there, houses being built. So they didn't want to do like a temporary thing using power lines and stuff because it has to hang below the lines.
Mm-hmm.
They're worried like a dump truck or something could tear it down. And then what was the point? So they are set up to trench and run the line. They walked out yesterday and saw the spray paint on the ground
mm-hmm.
where they're going to run it to the house. So yet again, another 2 weeks. And then we'll have real internet. But yes, it was difficult to get here. We've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
Went through multiple line of sight wireless kind of stuff. We ended up with, cellular, which.
And there's only one phone provider that works out here reliably.
Yeah. Well, technically two, because they were bought.
Right.
But before that, it was just the one. And I hate them. I can't wait to get off of them completely because now that a larger company has bought them, they're going to start sharing towers. Like all of the providers do. They share their towers so that, reciprocally people will share towers with them. And then everyone has coast to coast coverage. But there are holes in it. When I lived in Arizona, in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, there are definitely slips in the net.
Oh fuck yeah. Every time I'd go out, I knew I was in one of these movies. I'm going to go out for a week, take photos, walk the desert and do stuff. I knew for a fact there was no fucking signal of any kind anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my own. If I get bit by a rattlesnake, I need to know how to handle it. Something happens to my dog, I got to deal with it. Because a lot of cases, it's a 3-day walk back to the car.
Sure.
I got nothing I can do. Those are few and far between, though. And I realize it's difficult to say you wanted to make a horror movie centered around me, what I was doing, going out and taking photos, being out there. Okay, that's a one and done kind of thing, right? And you already have that expectation of what's going to happen and on, and that's fine. But every fucking time they go anywhere, there's no signal.
I know, they'll be right off a highway.
We saw one, remember? I can't remember which one it was. They were talking about there's no fucking anything anywhere. And not fucking 100 yards behind them.
I know.
In the shot is a cell tower.
I know.
Which, because we paused and talked about it, and it reminded us of that movie that's supposed to be about Yetis.
Oh,
and take place in winter. They shot it in like middle of fucking summer in Alabama.
No snow, and they're all complaining about how cold and snowy it is.
Yeah, and it's just bright green plants and everything.
I know.
Everywhere. They're fucking pouring sweat.
And there's like CGI snow overlaid on top of them.
Near the base, but when they're like walking the mountain,
because
they're supposed to be in Tibet.
I know.
Which,
sure.
Nothing in Alabama looks like mountains in Tibet. So anyway, coming back to it, we have to get rid of this shit. We have to accept the fact that cell phones are here, and if we're going to make a movie in present day, then we need to get creative, right? And by creative, that doesn't mean there's no cell signal.
That means, maybe the killer smashes the phone as they're calling something.
Well, we're watching one right now where they put all the phones in the
center console.
Center console,
of a car.
Because, it's like, get off your fucking phones. We're out having fun. Okay, so we know what's going to happen because we're only like halfway through it. They're going to need their phones. Going to be too far from the truck, and blah 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 blah. Okay, fine. But we need to be more creative. That's our job.
Yeah.
Is create. We're creators, and we need to be creative in how we address these kinds of things. Everyone has, not everyone, but 99%, right? Have a
It's
cell phone.
true. And that movie you were just talking about, one thing that struck me in it is as they did that, I was like, ha 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 ha. There's no fucking way a group of teenagers is going to voluntarily go, let's all put our phones away for the week. Absolutely not is that going to happen.
Nope. I mean, we have a teenager, and our little cousin is a teenager,
Uh-huh.
and they are just like two peas in a pod
I
in
know.
terms of modern teenager behavior. It's always the fucking phones,
Yeah.
YouTube, and if it's not the phone, it's the iPad.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, our little cousin is our daughter's age, and so they hang out together a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, they'll be spending time together, but both their heads are buried in their phones.
Yeah, they'll sit on the couch on opposite ends and both just stare at the phone for an hour. And the rest of us will be conversing at the table.
Sometimes they're playing a game together, but
Occasionally,
usually they're not.
No, yeah, one's on Etsy,
Yeah,
one's on YouTube.
I know.
Anyway, um, so yeah, the whole lack of signal thing. It's too convenient.
Hmm.
It's got to be removed as a plot device. I would say we should effectively, as a creative community, ban the use of it. Don't allow it into anything that's being written from now on. Just don't do it. And condemn those that do.
Hmm.
Say, no, 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 no. This isn't 1997, 1998, right? Where it was still spotty and shit. And, like today, no one could run the commercial. Can you hear me now?
Right.
Because it's everywhere it can be at the moment. And the places it isn't, there really aren't people per se. But there are those little pocket communities in the mountains and stuff like the Appalachians. Plenty of people don't have service.
Unless your whole premise of a movie is that there is no service. Like, do you remember the time the cables got cut by Milwaukee
Oh,
and
yes.
the whole bottom of the state lost cell phone service? That's the perfect premise for a movie where people can't use cell phones. Like that happens and someone's like, now's my time.
Well, exactly.
I
Because
could go out and kill everyone I want and no one can call anybody about it.
you were driving around for work.
I know.
And yeah, because of that, everything died. So you had no GPS.
Hmm.
Well, the GPS always works.
Well, but it was on my phone.
But the phone had nothing to work with.
Yeah.
The signals were coming in. It had no idea where you were because it wasn't able to pull the map and the stuff and update and everything. And then, worse, you couldn't call me
I know, to let you
to let
know
me know.
that I was lost and probably going to be late coming back.
Yeah, and I'm like, where the fuck is she? I'm trying to track you, and it showed where you last were, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I couldn't call you. I couldn't do anything. I had no service.
I bet you were freaking out.
Yeah. Well, the reason it should only because it will show what was last updated in the app.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why aren't you refreshing? And I didn't realize it's because I'm in the same boat.
Hmm.
The maps isn't working. It's just showing me the last thing.
Yeah.
From an hour ago.
Why won't it update?
But yeah, that could absolutely be a premise. And they've done that with some things like solar flares,
Yeah.
electromagnetic storms, things, tearing shit out. And somebody's just like that. They're at home and they're like,
Now's
my time has come.
Yeah.
And you said I was wasting my life waiting.
Right.
Let's go. And that could be the basis for a lot of stories.
That's a fine premise.
Yeah. So
and then it's believable. No one has signal.
I mean, in those moments. But this again, it's a small thing in the big scale of things. But it really, the more we're talking about, the more like pissed I'm getting because I just thought that was just such a cheesy. It was a cheat.
It was one thing.
Yeah, but it's not just this movie. I'm not shitting on just this.
Right, not just Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's so many movies that have done it, and it actually disengages me.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that point, I'm just going to shit on the film, whether it's for the show or not, because I get upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that is such a cheat. That is such a hack, right? A
I know.
first year screenwriting student wouldn't even venture there. That's something you find out when you've been seasoned, and you should be like, yep, nope, that smells bad. I just keep that out of my stuff. But everybody runs to it.
I love this. I have one other high bit of praise for this movie.
Please do.
Okay. Thank fuck that
Okay.
we finally have a new like Thanksgiving horror movie after Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving really set the
Yes.
bar.
It did. It did.
And it set it high. Thanksgiving was so stupid.
It
But it was
was
fun.
ridiculous, but that's just it.
But God, was it fun.
We watched it, and we had to watch it again.
I know.
And we've watched it a few times after that. And
and then we watched Thanksgiving 3.
Yes. And we were just desperate for that. Where is it? Because we heard about it, but it wasn't showing up anywhere yet.
Right.
And we're like, come on.
Come on.
Bring it. And then we were
Want it.
We were magnificently embraced by that film. It was all warm and fuzzy because it was fun.
Oh, those movies are a blast. And I get that there isn't a lot of Thanksgiving horror. There really aren't a lot of Thanksgiving movies. There are some. But it's not much of a holiday in the Cineverse.
Not so much. It doesn't, well, first of all, it doesn't have anyone attached to it. Easter, we have the Easter Bunny. New Year's, we have like New Year's Baby, right? There have been a few of those. Christmas, we have Santa. I mean, Santa has been done
Santa and
every
Krampus,
way to Friday.
Bada bang, bada boom.
But then we also have Krampus, and then we have elves, not just
Oh,
so much
yeah,
Santa,
that's true.
right? And then we have the fucking reindeer.
And snowmen.
And the snowmen. Yeah, we have Frosty. All these things. We have Jack Frost, which
there's so much to work with for Christmas.
Gone down in legendary crap performance.
It's a rich holiday of horrors.
Yeah. So we have turkeys. And really, Thanksgiving, I think, is the only one that took that to heart and made the turkey this demonic turkey. And it was just such a ride. That's kind of the thing, is it needs to be fun. This Thanksgiving was
They
fun.
had a killer pilgrim, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that. I don't think they were the first. I think there have been killer pilgrims in other films, but not many.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
There's tons of like scarecrows and clowns and, that you have to work really hard to be unique. But this pilgrim was pretty good.
Thanksgiving has primarily lived in other genres.
Drama
and comedy, especially. Occasionally a thriller. Usually doesn't have to do with monsters or supernatural stuff. Family stuff, if you're looking for like the non-drama, not so much comedy, but just kind of nice, warm.
Yeah, but Thanksgiving doesn't live in horror as much.
No.
And so I am appreciative.
Well, and the fact that they're making another one. I mean, we'll watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Cover it.
Yeah.
I think overall, good movie. We did have fun. There are some things to pick about. I hope the next one's not laden with so many people and so many stories. It's just kind of a waste of time. It's not even like a red herring situation.
Well, I wonder, because, they had the crispy, on fire Patrick Dempsey. So they've introduced now like, maybe a little bit of a...
No. Gotta remember. First of all, they found no body. Right? We only saw him on fire in her dream.
Right.
Because towards the end, just before they cut to all that bullshit, she was looking and one of the firemen was wearing a mask.
That's right.
And then turned and walked off. That was it. That was it. And I thought, you know what? That actually works. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Nothing weird, nothing, other than everything's nothing but ash. I'm looking right at it, guy.
And what a winter wonderland it is.
And that is from Jack Frost, where they shot winter in the summer in California.
Right, like in July.
Yeah, like I don't even know if it was LA. I think they were up like by Modesto or something. But
yeah, and I think the whole thing was like, it was so snowed in, everything was shut down, and they show it. There's no snow at all.
Nope, and the snow was paper. They had paper and sheets covering things. Snow cover. Oh my God. But you know what you were getting into, because that was like an asylum level type film. Yeah. Just even lower than that in terms of budget. But anyway, So we will be doing it, and I encourage people. Let's use Thanksgiving as more of a horror base and see what you can come up with.
I like it.
Um,
I mean, you don't even have to go like Pilgrim or Turkey or, Thanksgiving is a great, like, lock a bunch of people in a house, Agatha Christie almost kind of.
mhm. Yeah, it can be multiple levels of horror. Doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily need to be a slasher, but again, if it's going to be horror. There's got to be gore
Hmm.
because otherwise, and people argue, well, but Poltergeist was a horror movie. Uh Barely.
Yeah.
It's more of a like thriller. And there was no gore well, I mean there was when the guy peeled his face off.
Hmm.
So I guess you know what? I won't even use that because they did have a little bit of gore, but it was PG. It
Yeah.
was a PG horror. Um, but I wouldn't count it as horror. I count it as something else, and I enjoy it very much
Hmm.
still today. Uh, I would say the lessons here. All
Oh,
right.
wait, I have one more.
Oh, bring it.
Okay. No, I lost it. No, I have it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
um, this is a whodunit slasher, right?
Yes.
Because we know it's someone in the film. I don't know how. It's set up uh, well enough to like it's one of them, right?
I mean, yeah.
It's someone who was there because they're targeting people who were there.
Right.
So I was guessing throughout the whole movie, and it kept me like I never once guessed that it was going to be good guy cop Dempsey. Dempsey.
Right. Which is actually unusual.
So I want to give props to that. At one point, I was certain it was Party Guy.
So kind of a horror, very minorly suspense
Right.
slasher,
Right.
horror slasher suspense, which isn't done often.
It isn't. And
And
they did a good job of that.
they did. And I'm not saying that to encourage people to try and do it more. I think it's done at the appropriate level right now as it is, because it is super tricky.
Hmm.
Um, most of the time, the serial killer is just the killer, right? And everyone's a
Right.
victim. And whatever their plot story is that brought him into killing. But I it's a fine line. And I
Hmm.
think for all the other shortcomings of too many stories and subplots and shit, they did that pretty well. And it was kind of obvious because it was personal.
Yeah.
And when it's personal, then
It
it's
was
not.
highly
Yeah,
personal.
Mike Myers didn't address anybody by name. Well, he never talked, but he didn't, address
Right.
anybody by name.
But we knew
And
that this guy was targeting specific people for being assholes.
yes, and then we have Freddy Krueger.
Hmm.
He knew everybody by name.
Hmm.
He was into everybody's shit, and there was not one moment where you're like,
I wonder who it is.
wonder if it's not Freddy.
I know.
Because he's got entrails hanging off his glove blades,
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it was him, all right. Um, red herrings are difficult to do. We're working on a thing where we're talking about red herrings. And when you have a whodunit, even if it's horror,
Yeah.
if you have a slasher in this thing, you need to have, you need to misdirect the audience. We expect it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really concerned on figuring it out. I love pulling that thread. Like I know it's not this fucking woman,
Right.
right? But I'm going to work it. I'm going to
Yeah.
sit and watch, and in the back of my brain, I'm going to work it.
Hmm.
What does she do? What are we going to find out? Oh, nope, it's not her because she's in 8 pieces now,
Right.
and I accept that. But
Hmm.
then I'm looking for the next one,
Yeah.
the next one. And I think that's part of the fun. That's why murder mystery games, home games,
Hmm.
were so popular because everyone loves the red herring. We love the misdirect. We love the intentional. This is so obvious.
Hmm.
But then anyone with any experience is like, no, wait a minute. Does that immediately discount it? Or is it so obvious because it's true?
Right.
Right. But then that only has that build up and excitement if you fill the rest of the time with more misdirects and stuff. And, oh, this happened, but that supports this very obviously true thing, which makes me now wonder, is it even less true?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the fun of it.
It is.
It's the fun of it. And everyone goes about it their own way. But universally, we love to solve puzzles. We love to
Oh, we love to have our
gamble.
brains going. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
gamble,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We love to have our brains going in momentum with the film, not in the way of like watching Plan 9 from outer space, where the entire time your brain is like, what in the ever loving fuck is actually happening on this
Yeah.
screen?
What is actually happening?
Why are we still watching this? That's not what you want from your audience.
No. So yeah, I wanted to make sure to give that bit of praise.
Yeah, that's excellent. So the lessons, technically, this is what money can buy you. There's no reason anything should have been shit in terms of production, and it was not.
Right.
It was not. Again, and this is Eli Roth. He has a lot of experience. He has budgeted and millions and millions and millions of dollars
Yeah.
over these films. And he's proven again and again and again, he knows how to use it and knows where to use it.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a very solid film.
Yeah.
Really, my only complaint is that the storyline was overly complex.
And that's kind of it. And I think maybe, and this is mostly for the writers. Everybody else, all your roles and stuff, you know, from director to crew and everything, just take a look and yeah, this is what you're going for,
Mhm.
right? This is what you would like your camera shot to look like. This is what your end product should look like, and everybody's part in there, sound and lighting and everything, and set building, you know, the whole thing. But just the writers, you've got to get rid of that textbook.
Yeah.
Right? There are tenets of storytelling, but none of them say you have to provide endless backstory. And if anybody buys into, I can't remember who said it, but there was somebody who was a director who's like, if you've got a guy on screen, anybody's in your frame, there needs to be a reason for that person to be there.
Yeah.
Right? And that includes like the
background.
the nameless thugs, Thug 1, Thug 2, and Thug 3. That's how they show up in the credits. You know, they've got to have a backstory. I wholly disagree with that. Here's the backstory. They're a fucking thug next to the bad guy. That's it. They're employees. They're thugs. They're not smart enough to be the bad guy, but they're happy enough to do the bad guy shit.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. I don't need to know. And I don't think the actor, the fucking guy, I don't even know if they're actors. Mostly they're just people standing in. They're extras, right? They're just standing there. You don't need to run through your head the emotional fucking damaging childhood that this person had and the trauma and things that went. That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. You are an extra. Be an extra. And that's what background thugs are in real life, or just extras. They just stand there and their only purpose to exist is if shit starts to throw.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. So don't overcomplicate your horror or whatever genre, really. There are only a small number of primary people who the audience is actually going to give a shit about, and those are the stories that matter. Everybody else, the tertiary characters, the red shirts and everything, we don't need anything from them. And if you have somebody who you want to have an emotional connection with and their demise or something happens, they are not an extra. They are not a background character. They are a secondary primary.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to give them time and credibility, and you want the audience to go, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, you know. But then you don't want them to linger on that, because you should follow that up with another red shirt kill.
Yeah.
And there's like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry for her, but we're back in the game.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's really it. And the whole thing of the cell phone, I'll expound on that just a little bit, not just the cell phone. So over here is my laptop. Over here is my iPad.
Yeah.
Laptop is recording. iPad had all the notes and stuff. In this office, we were just talking about this. We have so many thousands of dollars worth of technology in this house. And the thing that drives me fucking batshit crazy is my daughter, our daughter,
I know.
will not use it. Won't fucking calendars, notes, things. I mean, I could run the world from here.
I know.
With a decent internet connection, right? And I have been in that position for a long, long time. There was a point where I had 3 different massive servers running Unix, Windows NT, and oh my God.
I love it when you talk nerdy to me.
But I had 16 workstations.
Mm-hmm.
That were connected to all 3, and I would do all a lot of, because IT people were like that. I had to do a lot of my testing at home, proof of concept and stuff, because you just don't have time live in the network environment to do all that shit. But anyway, All this stuff is here. Use it as it's supposed to be used. Quit trying to write it out. Accept the fact that if somebody's sitting here and they get a weird cryptic fucking note that has something, they're going to Google that shit in a minute
Mhm.
and they're going to have the whole history, probably even more than you did when you
Right.
thought it up, right? And you have to be okay with that. So you need to work that in and quit trying to think of creative ways to block it out, because I think the more shit, the more reality we exclude, the mundane stuff, because this is now mundane,
Mhm.
right? 20 years ago, I was like a tech god. People would walk in and look, be like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, yeah, it looks like NASA, doesn't it? Monitors everywhere, shit hanging, wires and all that. But I mean, really, visually it's impressive, but all I was doing was just running a network and, doing
Right.
doing tests. Um, but we have all this stuff. So if anything were to go down, right, my first step is going to be to go to one of these and see what's going on, right? Because they're connected, and go for it. So use it, or be clever enough to come up with something where that won't do any good,
Yeah.
right? Um, that's like that one documentary that we watched, we talked about. Um, oh, what was that?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, it was like the goblins.
yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Kentucky goblins something.
yeah. But here's my thing.
Hellier.
Hellier. Yeah, I knew it was hell something. It was hell to watch. When you're so for a documentary, you should know a little bit about. Yes, you got to do research, but if we're halfway through and you're still like looking shit up, I have lost all confidence in you as a legitimate investigator, because really what you're doing is just chewing the scenery,
Yeah.
right? Trying to get your face on for as long as you can for your YouTube video while knowing fucking nothing. You came into this empty handed and you're still being surprised by shit. Um, I could have sorted this all out 30 minutes at one of these machines. I didn't need your fucking 8 episode documentary that actually went nowhere.
I know.
Same thing with movies, right? Learn about the stuff. I mean, everyone's been bitching about the old days when HTML code. Look at he's programming, and then RT folks are like, "That's a web page.
Yeah.
He's not hacking into the NSA. He's that's actually it's a banner right down there. It says welcome, and that's what they'll see in their browser. Um, so yeah, writers need to get with the times. Need to reinvent the process. And this is the moment. It's not a generational thing. It's a moment where all writers should take a good look around, see all the stuff you have around you, and make it work.
Mhm.
Because buried in there are far more interesting and intriguing plots and stories and just things that can happen than just trying to, oh my God, there's no coverage.
Yeah.
Really? Anyway, so overall, excellent watch, great lessons. Couple, what not to do's, because I think it's just getting time to move on. Uh, but overall, yeah, watch this. If you haven't seen it, have a late Thanksgiving holiday view.
Yeah.
And because we also have, most people have turkey on Christmas. So just kind of like shift it into your
Or ham.
Christmas
Turkey or
watching.
ham on
Turkey or
Christmas.
ham. Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
if you have gotten this far in listening and you don't know who we are or what we do, you should check out our website.
lordsofmisruleproductions.com.
It's all there and it's all in the show notes as well.
Yep. And do all the things, whatever you're listening to us on. Like, subscribe,
Follow.
rate, review, follow, and share.
And,
Please do all
yeah.
that. It's important. If you end up on our Patreons, would love it if you were to just, sign up for, $5 a month. And yeah.
Mhm.
Also on the website, our contact email, info@lordsofmisruleproductions.com. Reach out to us. Tell us about the movie you wrote, the movie you directed, the movie you made, the movie you worked on, the movie you acted in.
Or the movie you saw. If you
Yeah.
want to hear us talk about it.
Yeah. Or you know what? I saw this movie and it was great. Remember, it needs to be B level or indie,
Mhm.
right? We're not interested in the next Marvel film
No.
because that's not what we do. Um, yeah.
Well,
Think about boom. Do all that and we'll be happy.
And we will thank you profusely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we'll catch you next time.
We will.
So until then, I'm Jim. Wait,
Ah,
I'm Danny.
take two.
Until then, you're Jim.
And you're Danny.
We'll catch you later, B-siders.
Keep doing your things. Do it all, and we'll talk to you next episode.
Bye.